Hello, welcome to Lethal in Perspective. I'm Eric Hartwig, and my guest for this edition is Karen Arndt from RE/MAX Real Estate. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Eric.
So, when you're buying a house, how would you choose, like if you were the seller or buyer, how would you choose a realtor?
I would choose a realtor based on their experience and certainly the neighborhood that the home is in, either for buying or selling, and their reputation. You also have to have a personality fit. Why it's good to interview 2 or 3 agents so that you know who you think you can work best with.
Make sure you're compatible with the person.
Absolutely, because you're going to spend a relationship anywhere from 1 month to could be up to a year. So you want to have someone you can speak freely with and you trust.
It's a long time. So I know the housing market has taken fall relatively recently. Would you say that it's coming back up, or is it still on the decline?
I wouldn't say that it's on the decline. We're starting to even out now, and housing prices are starting to recover. There was a decline over the last probably 3 to 5 years, but most of that is gone now, and sales are again back up.
What would you say is contributing to bringing the sales back up?
Well, there's fewer restrictions for buyers. There's more inventory, more homes to choose from, and the lending guidelines are somewhat a little bit strict yet, but loans are still going through.
What exactly restrictions were there? Was there just less money, or was there something else?
Well, the guidelines that you need to borrow money with, you have to have, of course, good credit. You have to be employed. You have to qualify for what it is that the amount of home or mortgage you're trying to get.
So that's a lot more common now.
Yes. Well, yeah, it's the same it's been, but it's a little bit stricter now.
Okay. Have you ever thought of doing anything other than being a realtor, say, like other interests of yours?
Not since I've been one. When I graduated high school, I was a legal secretary, so I got a lot of knowledge in the legal field early on, and at the age of 26, I went in to be a realtor, and it's been very fortunate for me since. So I'm very lucky to be in this career. It's this career, and I love it. I raised my son doing this. I live in the community. Robbie graduated here in '06.
Good. Would you say being a legal secretary has helped you being a realtor?
It has. It has. It definitely has. It gives me a little background on the legal knowledge. That was some time ago. But the real estate business itself is truly a people business. The housing is the vehicle I use to obviously make commissions and sales and be productive, but it's definitely a people business.
Well, that's good then. How do you get your real estate license?
I've had mine a very long time. It's a state mandated test that you take, and the state regulates our licenses. We have to renew classes every 2 years, continuing education, and stay current, and every 2 years.
So it's somewhat like becoming a lawyer, as in, or not at all?
I don't
just with
I
the
don't
bar
know.
test.
I don't know.
Where would you go for the test? Is there a building like downtown or something dedicated to it?
Yes, our realtor building is on Michigan Avenue, but you can go to local real estate companies. A lot of companies offer the classes. I believe now it's 90 hours or something, quite a few hours, that you have to take, pass that test, and then the state exam. But it can be taken locally through real estate firms.
Was the test easy, or was it difficult?
Eric, this was a long time ago.
Oh.
It was easy for me. I understand now it's difficult. Thank God.
That seems to be, the tests seem to be a lot harder.
Yeah, and believe it or not, what you take in the test, what you need to know to pass to get a license is not anything that you use in the real world. That's pretty funny. It definitely is a people business.
Reminds me a bit of some of the things we go over in school, but
right, could be.
I don't talk about that too much. How important is getting online? And I'm guessing when you first started, it wasn't quite so important. If there even was online.
Well, there was, but now today, most home buyers, 98%, do shop online first, and that is because they will search the school districts, they will search the local communities, the recreation centers for where it is they'd like to live, and then housing, of course, the types. What does it have? How many number of bedrooms do you need? Baths? You go to your needs and your wants. But online now is crucial. Everyone's shopping online. Sellers too. I believe sellers are shopping online to identify an agent they'd like to work with.
So it's definitely helping the market. Would you say there are any negatives to using that to
using technology? No, not at all. I don't think so.
Nothing.
I don't think so. Everything's exposed though, so you want to be very clear and sure of what you say and how you represent a property. Keeps us on our toes.
Okay. I don't even know if this is possible, but is it possible not to use a realtor? And If so, why use a realtor? Like, what is the
Eric,
advantage?
Eric, I get this all the time. Yes, you can sell a home without an agent. That's called by owner. You can certainly sell your home by owner as long as you know what you're doing and you know the contracts and you have a good attorney. As far as buying a home, if a home is listed with an agent, you must go through an agent, anyone, to buy the home.
Do you have any advice for those people out there either selling or buying a home, what to look for in a buyer or a seller, what to look for in a home?
Well, if you're selling your home, you want to minimize it. That's the first thing I tell anyone. You want to declutter and depersonalize your property. Make it look like you'd like it to see if you were looking for a home. And as a buyer, I would always address your needs first. Bedrooms, baths, school district locations to fit your family. And from then you can go with after the wants, fireplace, family room, garage, things like that.
Needs before luxuries. Makes sense.
I would say that too. It's a big investment. So you want to be sure that it's mostly what you need.
Yeah, buying a home is a big deal.
Sure is.
Are there any cons to using a realtor? Is there anything negative about that?
Only if you don't like them. If it isn't working out and you can't agree or communicate well, that's a problem. That's why I say interview first. Be sure you're certain that you choose someone you can work with. But as far as negatives, no, because we have most of us, or the better agents will have knowledge of the industry, knowledge of how to negotiate, what the village requirements may be, what to look for in a buyer, their strengths or weaknesses, and head off any potential problems. Home inspections are another problem these days, things that go wrong. So yes, I think that you need a professional to navigate those areas that you may not have expertise in.
Okay, so a realtor can only be bad if you choose the wrong one.
Well, or they can just be bad.
Oh, yeah.
Don't blame yourself.
Going back to the home inspectors, what exactly are they looking for? What do they want in a house?
Most home buyers today, almost all of them will hire their own home inspection company. And they will go through the home mostly to identify what could be problems for the potential buyers and to head them off or to tell them how to rectify. But, it may reveal unknown items too. So home inspections are good for everybody. And then it's usually a compromise. Sellers will fix what they can if they will, and then the buyers will take on what they can. But almost always it works out.
What exactly is the appraisal business? Because I know I've got an uncle in it, but I know it has something to do with property, but I've never really been quite sure.
The appraisal is done by a lending institution. If the property being bought has a mortgage, then that lending institution has to send their appraiser to verify that what they're lending them is worth what they're paying for the home. So an appraisal is set by the bank to identify what the property will be worth. And so if it's a cash sale, obviously not necessary, but most financed properties need an appraisal.
Interesting. I know the same uncle also does stuff where he will buy a house that, say, needs work or something for very low of a price and then try and fix it up so that he can sell it for a higher price.
Sure. That's called flipping. And that was done a lot of years ago when it was more profitable. But flipping still does go on now. If you can buy a property at a right price and you can fix it, have a crew or fix it up and make a profit on it, that is still popular.
He's flipping another home in North Riverside right now, actually.
Really? Good. Good for him. That's still a beautiful community.
Yeah. That part isn't so nice, but...
There's a nice part and a down part to every community.
Yeah. Going back about 7 or 8 years, I was a little Cub Scout selling popcorn, and I just remember seeing you with a client or something, and I asked you to buy popcorn, and of course you bought some. Of course. I'd just like to thank you for that.
Oh, Eric, you're very welcome. That's a sweet memory, and thank you for that. I like to support the local groups, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, spaghetti dinners, whatever we have, because you know what? The community that's strong will also have strong housing. Plus, I live here, I work here, and I love this community.
I do like North Riverside a lot.
And all the surrounding communities that feed RB.
Yeah. Riverside.
Good school.
Brookfield. Lots of good people. Is there anything else you would like to add?
I want to thank you very much for choosing me to have this interview. I appreciate it very much. Thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Arndt, for joining me on People in Perspective.